guys. I wanted to share a few things that we learned on our first camping trip last week. We just bought our first camper and we had a lot of fun. We did. We enjoyed ourselves. We relaxed. It was wonderful. But when we got there, it could have been very bad. I guess the first thing would be research. I thought that I did enough research, but apparently I didn't. This campground had some storm damage, and it had the site that we ended up getting, had some lumber with nails in it, and I had to pick up and throw away, and thank goodness I saw those before we backed in. And when we got there, they were just like, oh, just drive around till you find a spot. And we had no idea where we were going, what we were doing, and they didn't have a map or anything, and none of the sites were like, it didn't say this one has a sewage hookup, because some of them didn't. Some of them were just electrical and water and no sewage, so we needed sewage. So we drove around aimlessly for a little while, but now we know. We probably will not be back there. Only stay where you can pick and reserve your spot. We were not able to do that. And the spot that we had, like I said, had some storm damage, and they had just like put that gravel over it, and it was really dirty and dusty. And I know that they couldn't help that. And there was no shade, but like I said, there were nails, and just thank goodness I saw that and we didn't back over it. The original setup is much harder than the breakdown. I guess it took us about an hour and a half for the first setup, because it was a lot of learning as we go. The next thing would be stick to a routine of your setup and breakdown. I think that just makes life a whole lot easier if you know what you're doing, what each person is doing. Prepare your food ahead of time. I did prepare some food, but next time I will be a little bit more vigilant on that, and cut up my onions and cut up whatever vegetables we need ahead of time, because camping is supposed to be a vacation, so you don't want to spend a whole lot of time cooking, or I don't. We did go out to eat one night, so that was nice. If you forget something, it's okay. We did forget bug spray. We did forget our Starlink, but there was a Dollar General not far from us, and we were able to pick up a couple of things. Not a Starlink, but of course. But I had, at the last minute, grabbed my husband's work Verizon internet thingy. I don't know what it is. And we were able to connect with that. We weren't on the TV or our phones a whole lot, but it was nice. When we got done for the day, done for the night, we could come in and get on our phones or watch a little TV. And both partners, husband and wife, whatever, you need to know exactly how to set up and break down on your own. I'm learning. My husband's jobs during the setup and breakdown are so much harder than mine, and I feel really bad, so I want to learn things that I can do to help him. I would love to be able to completely set it up on my own. That is my goal, is to be able to say that I set this camper up without his help. There's some things that require a lot of strength, like the stabilizer bars, that I will not be able to do, but I am going to try to do the best I can to support him and to be a good helpmate to him. And the last thing is, sleeping in the camper is absolute the best. I slept like a rock. It was the most wonderful sleep I had gotten in a very long time. It kind of reminded me of when we would go on a cruise, and I just think that sleeping on a cruise ship is wonderful. Well, sleeping in a camper is even better to me. It's the air, and being in the sound of the air conditioner, and being in like maybe a small space, you just felt really snug. I felt snug as a bug in a rug. So yeah, we are going to go to our next camp weekend will be next weekend. We will have to do it every other weekend because of my husband's work. And yeah, follow us, join us. Please like and subscribe. We would love to have you come along, and we'll show you some of the local campgrounds here in North Alabama and maybe Central Alabama. And I know we do have a trip that we are going to plan like in late September at the Gulf. So yeah, we would love to have y'all follow us, join us, and we'll see what we can get into. Thank you all, and I hope you have a blessed day.